To make my next move, my best move. I always watch my back and who I'm next to. I always watch my back, cause every time I slide.
To support innovators, idea makers, just like all. Each of us has our ideas, each of us has our thoughts on what we'd like to do, what we'd like to achieve with our lives, with our careers. A lot of what we have to overcome is tied to our own biases. Those experiences that we've had in the past, those messages that people have been feeding us, those ideas or those things that we've had rolling around in our heads that have maybe, if we're honest with ourselves, held us back and not allowed us to sort of live out on the edge, live out and really start moving towards some of those ideas, some of those dreams, activating those. What does it take to achieve those? I heard many mentions of different majors, different careers that you like to pursue. Any of those include running your own business? Some of you are already doing it. Others? What are the lessons that you've learned as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner? What are those successes that you've had? What are those stumbles that you've had?
Well, just enjoy the process. Don't rush into anything. And failure is always a learning lesson. The more you fail, the more you get better. So always learn from your failures, but always progress. And live in the present moment. You know, don't focus on the future. More likely, when you first start, don't focus on the money. Focus on the love. Focus on what your customer wants. Focus on getting better. And learning every single day at your craft. Every single day. You got to be a student every single day.
I'm glad you mentioned that. And I'd like to hear from some others too. A lot of us think that, and we've been told throughout our lives, that college is sort of the gateway to prosperity, right? It's that ticket to a better life. A lot of us think, though, that college experience only happens once, right? Right? I mean, it happens during that time when you're young, you just graduated high school, you're going to go off to college, you're going to get that degree, you're going to get that paper, and then you're going to go out and make more paper. Reality is, though, that times are changing. A lot of people are questioning the value of college education, and the relationship that we have as institutions with all of you is changing. And I want you to, if you leave with nothing else from tonight, I want you to view KCKCC as your lifelong learning partner. So you can come in, get the skills that you need, add your tool belt, but don't just think that it's a one and done, right? You can look to community colleges around the country, look to other institutions across the country that you can align with. But to your point, I'm glad you mentioned that. Professionals never stop growing. We're always growing, we're always learning. And what we're trying to do at KCKCC is to try to create on-ramps and off-ramps that are seamless to navigate, that are really easy for you to come in, get the skills that you need, acquire those while you're still working, while you may be building your own businesses, and then you jump back out into the workforce with more marketable skills. So don't consider this as the one time in your life when you're going to focus on you. You're going to focus on your own learning, your own development. But think of those ways in which the college can help you as you grow along your journey. I don't want to stand up here and talk the whole time. I actually want to hear from y'all. I'm going to pass out some paper. I want to pass out some stickies and some markers. Because one of the things that I've taken pride in my career is the ability to help people think beyond themselves and to connect people with the resources that they need to be successful and to achieve their dreams. And so as I connect with more resources, as I connect with more people across this KC metro area, but as I also learn about what your goals are, what your aspirations are, I'd love to be able to connect you with those resources. Yeah? It's time for us all to think outside the box, think about those things that we want to achieve when we start shedding, whether it's our own biases, whether some of the limitations that we face every day. But I want you to think long and hard about those things that maybe hold you back. Those things that, does everybody have something to write with? Mark it, make it all the way around. So we're gonna have a little design thinking sprint together. So we want to identify where it is we're going, and then also start to think about how we're gonna get there. And we'll log all this here, and then tear off some of these sheets. I want you to start writing down for a moment on the sheets of paper. You just start writing really fast. Think of your ideal future state. Think of you all mentioned majors. Some of you mentioned businesses that you're operating. But think about that ideal future state for a moment. I want you to write down what that looks like. What does your ideal future look like? And I'm purposefully being rather vague, rather open. I want to see how creative you can get. And as you're writing some of those things, what I also want you to think about, what I also want you to write down, and you can write all those ideas on different sheets of paper. So if you've already written a couple on there, just transcribe those on other sheets. I want you to start listing those out. What is the ideal future state? What does the ideal future look like for you? That's not what somebody else has in mind for you, but what is it ideal for you? And then I also want you to think about what are some of the challenges or barriers that you're running into that are preventing you from getting there. Third, what are the supports or the resources that you need to be able to achieve that ideal future state? So 3 things. 1 is ideal future. 2, barriers or challenges that might get in the way. 3, what are the supports and resources that you need to be able to get there? I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. Anybody got some thoughts? Start with ideal future state. What's the ideal future look like for you? If you want, I can name on it so I can call one. Not all one.
I'll go first. Please. For me, it's, I get to choose how to spend every minute of my time.
You get to choose how you spend it. Excellent. So, heard, how many people have heard Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, see him on the Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the things that he shared in a presentation that I saw, we hosted him in Tallahassee a couple of years ago. That exact dream, is that exact goal why people pursue their own businesses, why they want to pursue that entrepreneurial dream, why they want to build their own businesses, why? So that they have personal freedom to do what they want to do, right? They're not answering to somebody else, they have that freedom.
And you know, for us, from the standpoint of where we are in restorative justice, juvenile justice reform, we're looking for our students to find that niche that fits them. You know, our students are so, our young people are so talented, but oftentimes, when you ask them what they want to do, and I'm talking about high school age kids, they really don't know. So when the light finally goes on and they know or they have some idea, hey, this is what I'm good at, how do I now develop this and move forward with this? What do I need? Who's here to help me? What supports do I have to help me build on this talent and to turn this into the passion that, you know, where I'm getting paid to do what I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so that's from our perspective.
Mm-hmm.
There's some of them that some of them are smart enough to understand and know that when you talk to them about a niche, just like me, life skill coaching, some type of coaching, a lot of my kids know once I retire from there in 4 years, if I'm still mentally able, that's probably what I'm gonna do. And they say, well, you really should because you're really good at this. You spent X amount of years coaching and mentoring and doing things for us. You should still continue. But I said, okay, so what's your niche? What are you looking to do? What's your dream? What are the things that you're looking at to where you're going to get that maximum enjoyment out of life? And someone like, no, I don't know. Okay, that's your homework for me.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I was gonna work off of finding the passion, finding the niche, what is the barrier? I think a lot of times, those young people that we're working with, or those that we're working with in the community, to help them find that passion, they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, they just,
Whether it's lack of
No
life
passion,
experience,
no
whether it's
dream,
lack
or-
of what they've been exposed to, they don't know what they don't know. Other ideal future state. That's all y'all write in that.
Being financially comfortable, not stable.
Financially comfortable, not stable. What does that look like to you? Not a number, you don't have to put a dollar figure on it, but like, what is that?
Basically like not living paycheck to paycheck. Like I could take like a month off of work if I really wanted to, and I'd still have money in the bank.
So, what are some obstacles or barriers that would be preventing you from being able to achieve that lifestyle?
Spending habits.
Spending habits? Good that you recognize that.
That's
It
a
really
great
is.
one.
And a lot of people don't recognize it until they're
It's too late.
they're drowning in debt and it's too late. How about others?
Not knowing how to save.
So now we're getting into financial literacy, right? How many people have been taught financial literacy, how to do some of these things? Have been taught throughout our lives? And it's okay to say no if it hasn't. So oftentimes, we'll be surrounded by classmates, those in the community that have never had this instruction before, this teaching. Others.
Can I say, from our, I'm approaching everything from our perspective as we work with secondary,
Yeah.
young people.
Yeah.
So one of the and this is gonna really sound weird and out of place, but one of the biggest barriers we find to helping them identify that ideal phase, that future, is resistance to change that oftentimes is not necessarily the students as it is the institutional, the system itself. Resistance to changing, to identify where these students are today,
That's a barrier.
what they need, and how to get the resources that they need to them, you see. Because sometimes we have people that are, for lack of a better term, they're set in their ways within the institution itself, and they don't see the necessity to change and to adapt to meet the needs of, it's just like a teacher trying to shape the student to fit the curriculum instead of taking the curriculum and matching it to meet the needs of the students. You see, so that's the biggest obstacle or barrier that we encounter on a regular basis when we're trying to get our students to thinking that ideal phase, what's my niche, and how do I get there? It's the resistance to change that sometimes is embedded within the system itself.
And sometimes it can be very frustrating when you're working with somebody that is resistant to change. You almost want to shake them like, if you'd only keep an open mind, if you'd only think about it, if you'd only consider some of these other options, can deliver you from where you are. For many people, we see that they're just living in a constant cycle of poverty. They've seen it generation after generation after generation, and not recognizing that there is opportunity. If you live beyond your own circumstances, that's hard. What does that require? That often requires coaches, that often requires mentors, models, like yourself, instruction, empathy, trying to put ourselves in the other person's shoes, trying to understand what they're going through, encouraging them to also empathize. These are powerful conversations, but they're life-changing. Other ideal future states.
Actually, I don't know.
You got one?
Yeah,
Okay. Write it down.
yeah.
Okay.
I said, getting rid of the fear of math.
Fear of math.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like, there's always something new to learn.
Uh-huh.
That is the next, phase that I want to, go towards.
Math?
Yeah, like just math in general, counting, statistics,
You have a fear of it.
yeah.
You're not
And-
alone. You're not alone. How many other people have a fear of math? Real fear of math. You're surrounded. I even have a fear of it. So my daughter, she's in 7th grade. She's learning algebra and geometry, and she's lost me. Like, she's so beyond where I am. But what I would encourage you to do, thinking about leaving that fear of math behind, is facing it, right? Is it-
I solve math problems every day now, like, algebra.
Gamifying it, right? So how can you create your own sense of motivation to overcome some of those barriers that you have? Because math is going to be a lot like the other things that the barriers, those challenges you'll face in your life that it's going to scare you. It's going to give you fear, especially when you're wanting to start your own business,
Yes.
right? How do you take that step? Because it's scary.
I have a business, and so far, I don't really have a problem with that aspect of it. It's I don't know, it's, I would say it's really getting into budgeting, I would
Okay.
say. And I would say that, I noticed algebra, as I'm learning, I would say in order to budget better, I had to use a lot of algebra. And
Okay.
so, that really helped. And so now, that is my new challenge in life, and I'm actually doing better with that.
Okay, so I've heard, I'm seeing a tie here. I'm seeing a connection between what you're doing in your personal life to be financially comfortable and what you're doing within your professional life and your business to achieve the same types of goals. Okay? Other thoughts? Ideal future state? Yeah.
You know, like those dream Instagram couples that be traveling and stuff.
Uh-huh.
They have like those beautiful weddings,
Yeah.
just like a stable partner or whatnot.
Stable partner. Stable partner. Healthy relationship. I love that. So, do we have others?
Oh, yes. Okay. My ideal future self is to be a motivator, teacher, CEO, have employers, and just worldwide, just spreading my gift and talents all over the world that people really need it and really need to hear.
So, let's unpack that. What's preventing you from doing that now?
Right now, for my barriers, there's a lot of things that can prevent me, like there's procrastination, taking action. You know, sometimes self-sabotage. Sometimes we can self-sabotage ourselves within our own minds. That's why it's good to go on that spiritual journey and learn your inner self and have the emotional intelligence first and know yourself so you can deal with human behaviors when you're dealing with people. So psychology actually plays a big part, and that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm figuring out to break these barriers,
Okay.
the emotional intelligence parts, and knowing myself. And
You, our own thinking.
yes.
How many of you heard of stinking thinking? So we often think we want to jump to worldwide, and I was actually in a conversation with the president. We hosted several of our student leaders for a luncheon with our cabinet and with our board of trustees. It was after the board meeting earlier this week, and gave us a real opportunity as a cabinet, as our trustees, to reflect on our own lives. And then if we were to offer tidbits or guidance or advice to the students that were present, the president mentioned that anything worth value, it's going to be really hard and it's going to take a lot of time. And I would build off that to say that while we want you to go global, it starts with that first step, and it starts with working with those that are around you. And I would encourage you to be that pebble, right? You know what I'm talking about? Because the ripple effect can have so many different impacts in people's lives that you're not even anticipating, you're not even thinking about. Because your goal is not really about you at all.
Right.
It's about the impact that you can have in others' lives. What I'm doing here is I'm drawing connections between all of us in this room and those that we are connected with within our own networks, whether we recognize it or not. We are so caught up right now as a generation of people with these things. While these were invented to try to connect us better, they've alienated us from one another. We don't talk to each other anymore. We sit in lines, we walk around campus, we're in class, check it out. As soon as you leave class, all your classmates will jump on their phones. We're all interconnected. We're all part of a big, broad, bold network, and we all have the capacity to be able to help each other.
I can actually tell you why we're more isolated with our devices.
Okay?
So we have access to.
That's not the only thing isolating us, but
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, but we have access to the entire world. I think if we only had access to our few people that we keep in contact with, it wouldn't be as distracting.
Okay, so we could build this off of stable partner and quality relationships. One thing I'll caution you about the social media fantasy is that it's that indeed it's a fantasy.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. Everybody that's posting something on social media is posting their ideal future or an ideal time in their lives, right? And it's not necessarily the day-to-day, the grind, what we deal with, when things are going tough, when things are hard. So do keep that in mind. That is a portrayal of that dream. Other thoughts on ideal future state? I've seen a lot of writing over here. I've seen some writing over there. You wrote things down. Yeah.
The first one is to have my brand of freedom.
Have your brand. Excellent. Okay.
The second one is understanding my control, and also teach that to others.
Okay.
And then I have know myself truly to know my purpose, and then evolve and be the
Awesome. Did everybody hear that?
No.
Okay. You want to say it again? Do you want me to say it? Okay. So there were really, say, three primary goals. There was self, having an understanding and a comfort with oneself. There's having the sense, the financial literacy to make the right decisions in your life about the way in which you earn and spend and invest your money. And then the third ideal future state is to have a brand, her brand, be as big as that. Okay. So I'm going to paraphrase, and I'm going to say brand professional and personal. Your personal brand. recognizing and knowing who you are, so that the rest of the world can see that too.
I said becoming a nurse anesthetist.
Nurse anesthetist. Oh, say it again for me.
Anesthetist.
Yes, okay. Are you on your way?
No, I got a long way to go.
But you'll get there.
Yeah.
It's your time. You'll get there. What are some of the barriers that are preventing you from accomplishing those dreams? Did you have an ideal future? Barriers.
For support.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Support of myself. Because the person you're going to live with for the rest of your life is going to be you,
Okay.
not somebody else.
Okay.
So if you just focus on yourself and becoming better, then nothing else to worry about. And then barrier, I would just say like people that hate on you, snakes, people that don't believe in you. And then mental health is something really important as well.
I have this coat on, all these shirt and everything. You can't see the goosebumps that are on my arm and on my back. How many times can we get in our own way?
A lot of choosing stupid people over things that were important.
Yep.
Or letting things blind us.
Yep. Stay on top of our game. We also see on social media stars performing at the highest level that are glamorized. Why? Because of their productivity and what they've been able to accomplish. We can do that every single day. We start working on ourselves.
Which one?
Any of them.
Ideal future.
Okay.
I want to live in a luxury apartment, like driving a BMW, being a traveling nurse.
Okay.
you go. Yeah. You know, hopefully making like 3 to 5K a week.
All right.
I know I'm trying. Hey, it's your dream. Get this money.
Okay, so we've got living the life of luxury as a traveling nurse. We've got trying to live up to parents' expectations, but let's just say the expectations of our parents, loved ones, friends. A friend of mine once wrote a poem, and in it he was describing about how for the first season of our lives, we are living according to perhaps the expectations of others. It's when we see that powerful switch, that when we see the change where we start living according to our own expectations that we have for ourselves. That is an ideal future state. Yeah.
My ideal future is owning successful nonprofits.
Owning successful nonprofits. What are those successful nonprofits focused on?
They're centered around helping children find their passions.
Helping children find their passion.
Yeah, getting them out of toxic homes, like helping them experience the world before they're just thrown into it.
So the gentlemen behind you do that every single day. They'd be a good sounding board to talk with, to collaborate with. Others. Barriers. Supports, resources that you listen. You have a lot of purple over there.
Probably like saying like barrier, just like just in general.
In general.
I want to be a professional photographer for the WBC,
Okay.
World Boxing Council. So I feel like professional boxers, like Tank Davis,
Okay.
I say barriers for that would be like self-doubt, just be able to sacrifice my free time just to really buckle down and do what I really love to do. Because sometimes it can be like hard.
To buckle down
Yeah,
and focus on what you want to do?
yeah.
What's pulling you away from that? Maybe we move to barriers.
I'm gonna be honest, probably video games.
Video games?
But I got goals within like video games too. I want to be like a professional screamer too. So I got
Okay.
like goals within that too.
Okay. Here's a question for you. I don't want to be sensitive to time, Roger, I'm sorry. But we're rocking and rolling here.
Do things.
We talked earlier about, in some cases, we don't know what we don't want. I'm curious if, when thinking about your ideal future state and the aspirations that you have, how much of that is informed by people placing expectations upon you versus what your thoughts are for yourself, what expectations you're placing upon yourself, and what's informing those expectations. So you're thinking about gaming, you're thinking about being a sports photographer. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. What steps have you taken, are you taking to identify if that is that passion? Because once you find that passion, it's not that you won't be distracted, but nothing will stand in your way.
I feel like more so, I should probably look into more doing more events, just asking around, just being doing more networking pretty much, opposed to just sitting around playing the game. Because as long as I'm doing that, nothing will be accomplished within what I really want to do for my passion as a photographer. So I feel like it's more so just networking, asking around. Hey, you got an event for boxing coming up pretty soon. It's kind of hard to explain.
I appreciate that, though. I really do. Others? Barriers, sports?
I guess I would fall into sport, but not a person, more like something that's not tangible. Knowing that your purpose is bigger than you, that can be the biggest push for you to get your ideal future and to crush the barriers.
Do we take enough time to have these types of conversations with ourselves or with each other? Do we? I think what you're describing might be.
Talking to yourself can be your support.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know about y'all, but I find myself very distracted and pulled in a lot of different directions. And I know that I'm not having enough of these conversations with myself or with others that I care about and that I know care about me. I'm curious, do you find that to be the case in some of your lives? Yeah?
I kind of have these conversations because I like to remind myself what I'm here to do and my purposes. And I feel like if I forget about that and I let life drag me and pull me away, I kind of tend to forget what I'm here to do. And so I like to have those conversations with myself, I'm not crazy though, and with other people, just to remind myself what I'm here to do and to push myself to keep going so I can get to where I want to be.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so playing basketball and stuff, it gets hard because we do a lot. We do 5 a.m.s and all that. So I'm 8 hours away from home. So I just tell myself, because I be ready to quit for real. But I just tell myself I know I don't want my mama to have to pay for school and struggle and all that stuff. So I just we do this FCA thing in our with our team, and she came and talked to us, and she had us write down why we play and all that. So that's just going back to purpose. So we just gotta find.
Yeah. I worked my way through school. I didn't come from much. I'm very blessed, very grateful for what I have and what I've been blessed with throughout my career. The fact that I can actually now in a position to be able to give back to people and hold out a hand and lift others up that are coming behind me that may not look exactly like me, but they're more like me than they realize. My dad was a line fletcher for the phone company. He was in the military. We made just above the poverty line. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. We didn't make a lot, but we had enough. She worked in a thrift shop so we could get the first selection of clothes that were donated, and we bought dented cans and expired milk and bread. We didn't have a lot, but we had enough. We had each other. And I worked my way through school. When I was about to graduate from high school, I really wanted, Roger, you love this, I really wanted to be a Gator. Really wanted to be a Florida Gator. That was the dream. That was my ideal future, at least for that season of my life. And, oh, it's okay. But you know what? When my family and I sat down at the dining room table, we started to think about what it would cost to do that, and the amount of debt that I would incur in the process. Thought, let's defer the dream. We'll get there eventually because we've got the purpose. I've got the belief. I know I can get there. And thankfully, I have the resources. That's another thing. When I said I don't have a lot, I was working it. So all of you are submitting your free application for federal student aid every single year, right? You get those in on time. For those visiting that are thinking about college, submit it. Why? Because it'll tell you how much aid you're eligible for, and you may think, gosh, I don't have time or I can't afford college. Well, I was talking earlier about the types of short-term programs we're creating. Also, it's affordable and it's accessible. I was very grateful. So I had the 8 options available, and then I worked my way through school. Worked my way all the way through school so that I graduated with my doctorate from Florida State University with no student loan debt. It wasn't because I had unlimited resources. It was because I had a plan, I had an ideal future state, identified what resources I needed, and how to overcome the barriers that I faced. A lot of that required working with others, leveraging the network, and frankly, hustling. I did this with our college's faculty and staff at convocation. Had everybody raise their hands, and I'll have everybody in the room raise your hands. I want you to all raise your hands. It's getting a little late in the night, and we're going to wrap it up here soon. All right, give me a little more. Give me a little more. Okay, you can put them down. Why did I have you do that? Because you always have a little bit more in the tank, even when you think you don't. Even when you think that you don't. Even when you think that the odds are stacked against you, there's a little more in the tank. It may not be your personal tank, but it might be that trusted partner, that friend, that resource that you can lean on to get you past that barrier, past that challenge, whether it be your own thinking, whether it be the barrier right in front of you. But it's that resource, it's that lifeline that can help you get there and help you accomplish your dreams. A couple reasons why I wanted to do this. I wanted to hear from you, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your time to be here. I want to thank you for your vulnerability. We probably don't know each other in this room very well, but to be openly vulnerable with one another, that's the first step to building a strong, cohesive network where you can help one another and where you can open yourself up to allow others to help you. Sometimes it's a real challenge to just ask for help when you need it. But realize that you're surrounded by people that care about you and that want to support you. Not just within this room, at this college, those that you'll come in contact with. And also recognize that you're part of the network. You're now part of a bigger network that is so much bigger than you are. We're all nodes within the network. We're all interconnected, and we're all connecting people with resources, connecting people with each other that are going to help us all to achieve our ideal future state if we just allow it, if we just let it. Don't ever treat people as transactions. You become more influential within the network when you ask, what can I do to help? How can I help you? Because then you'll start to see your gift revealed again and again and again. And whether it be the time, the resources, the connections, the introductions that you make, that pebble in the stone, it's that pebble in the water, it's the ripple effect. And it's going to come back to you tenfold. The other reason why I wanted to do this is, I mentioned earlier that I've taken pride in my ability to be able to connect people with resources and individuals, but also to start to mobilize resources to help people think beyond themselves beyond their own limitations. And Roger, we now have an amazing list of ideal futures that people are aspiring to achieve, the types of barriers that they're encountering, and the resources and the support that we can rally around and identify to be able to support each and every person in this room and those that are surrounding you in your lives. So this guides our work within FBOE and also KCKCC to start pulling on these resources. My contact information is right here. So that's my email address. I'm in the administration area. My door is always open. If you need anything, it's right there. I want to be able to connect you with the resources, not just at this college, but across this community. If you need it, we'll help you get there. Okay? You have my word.
Thank you.
You got it. So one last thing. A friend of mine, Adam Arredondo, who is one of the founders of Casey Startup Village. He also helped to bring Google Fiber to Kansas City. Amazing guy, entrepreneur, serial businessman. He reached out to me and he said, "Hey Scott, do you know any students that would want to go see Walter Isaacson, the author of Elon, which is a new book to be released on Elon Musk? He's also written other books about other popular figures. If you're interested in seeing Walter Isaacson speak and also to get a signed copy of his new book, Elon, I'll provide you that link. I'll stay here afterwards. You can sign up. We have free tickets for our students to be able to participate. So if you'd like to do that, it's on the 25th. I'll be here to provide more. Okay? Thank you.
Y'all two basketball players, leaders. Well, we're gonna, Deidre, you're gonna run through the ritual of what y'all come back here with me. What we do when our guests come here and so that we are engaged, we pick out some people to remember
You're talking about,
what they learn. Yeah, so, ask her.
All right. What y'all learn from this event here? What you guys? I'll start with you. I just.
You act like you didn't know me outside when you walked by me.
No, I was picking you.
What I learned, I'm always looking to how I can better connect myself and Gary. We also present at one of our JAG classes out at Washington. So I'm always just looking for a better way to connect and go in and do a presentation, get students interested. So I picked up a few things from you. I appreciate that.
Sure. We learn from each other. And I want you all to connect to the nonprofit.
You?
I learned some things from everybody here. I think the one thing that I think is going to stick with me is being more financially comfortable and stable means a lot than civilian. I think that's something that I would look forward to doing in the future. But from this presentation, I'd say probably you can make your goals happen if you really want to after you write down everything that you have a problem with, like your barriers and who you know is your supports and everything, and try to just focus on that and then move on from there.
And what I also hope you'll take from this too is your voice matters. Your voice matters. And I love what you mentioned about overcoming the haters and also making sure that we take care of our mental health. No, really.
Facts.
Really, it's facts. And a lot of this work, so what I do here at the college, in this fancy role that I'm in, is I support a lot of the planning decisions here at the college, where we invest our resources, how we evaluate how we're doing as an institution and leveraging those resources to make a difference in all of your lives and the lives of your classmates and then the lives of those in this community. This informs how we invest some of our dollars and resources that are needed to help overcome barriers that you're facing every single day that enable you to be the best version of you. But your voice matters. Always remember that.
So, like your email, you said like what we invest in. Can we give you like what we think
Yeah.
we should hear?
Yeah. Yep. I can't make any promises, right? Because it takes a lot of people making those decisions together. But what it allows me to do is to be able to elevate that so that other people are aware. What makes it an even more powerful message is when you have multiple voices that are sharing the same message.
Anybody else would volunteer?
I would say look beyond your situation. Like if you're stuck up in a bad place, or there's always better. So, yeah.
I learned from your presentation that we are all one person. So the more, we're all a reflection. I'm a reflection of him, I'm a reflection of you. So with that being said, we have to look at each other with respect and be able to help each other. So my ideal, if we can all add value to each other and look past ourselves, but add value. How can I add value to you? How can I be a help for you? How can I be a service to you? How can I use my gift for you? We are one. The more we can help each other, the more we can better ourselves as individuals, and it becomes a unit. We all become a unit, we all become a team, and then we all become a reflection on who we want to be by helping each other reach our highest level.
Excellent. We are surrounded by people. We are living in a society where victory at the cost and expense of others, glamorized and rewarded, acknowledged widely. We're a reflection of one another.
Rather just sit around all day and be sad, be hurt, something that traumatized you, something that broke you down. But being able to being mentally stable, you'll be able to attain those goals. And it's gonna be like bumps, it's gonna be cracks on the way, but you gotta be able to like maintain, be able to stay up and stay positive. And that can be hard sometimes with having so much negative thoughts circling your head at one time.
Don't feel like you have to boil the ocean. Boil the time to get there. The other thing too is think about those things that you've all talked about tonight, the careers, the aspirations that you have. And if you've not done so, I want you to volunteer. I want you to research as much as you can about those careers before you invest a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of resources in something that when you get out into the workforce, you may realize, wow, this isn't what I thought it was. You know what I mean? All right, guys.
Okay, we got one more thing. We proved that they was engaged with you, and then we have these things we do called the Power of 10. You took more than 10 minutes to do something with us, so we're going to have her come out. You can take a picture of this and give you the Power of 10 award.
Hey.
So we get a picture of her.
So
Clap it up for her.
Thank you. You gonna come out here too?
No, just come.
Oh,
Give them one.
Where are we looking first?
Anywhere, man. Strike a pose. This is good.
I got mine.
Go to. Okay, now go to the
Let me
studio.
get one more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
And also, we have one for our mentor. We have a mentor that comes up here, and you have a different type of award. Can you read that award so people know what you have? Sir?
Yes.
Yep, so you can see.
So, Fringe Benefits of Education, Power of 10, presents the Power of 10 Award to Dr. Scott Baylog for taking time out to share his perspective, expertise, and experience with the FBOE.
Clap it up one more time, y'all. Now, we'd like for Gary Washington to come up and get his Oxygen Award. Clap it up for him. We'll get y'all together in a second.
Sorry.
Yeah. Get a picture, and then we're gonna read it afterwards.
Can you look to me real quick? Thank you.
Now, Gary, read what that says.
You gotta take the glass.
Friends Benefits of Education presents the Silent Mentor Award to Gary Washington for subtly guiding, motivating, and advising multiple generations of FBOE members since our inception. Founder, Director of FBOE, Roger M. Sullivan.
First. Thank you.
I'm forever snapping, don't worry about me. Yeah, there we go.
Please do. Give me my card. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem.
It's my brother here.
Oh,
Hey, look here. Come on over here.
there ain't no way.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, come on, come on.
Oh, I need my wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Let's go.
This is my brother.
They got me on this phone.
Oh, we talking.
Beautiful,
That is beautiful.
Hold
on, look to me real quick. Hey, Gary, could you look to me real quick? Thank you. And thank you. Roger, you too. Thank you. Perfect.
Hey, come on in here, brother. Guys, this is my brother. We've been together for years. 4 years.
Thank you.
Got my shots in. Perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
So a lot of things he said before we get into, before we listen up, is this is what we do at FBOE. This is what we talk about, the EIN and the LLCs and things like that. And he just confirmed a lot of stuff we talked about, right?
Yes.
So now we have expanded it to more people to go after your goal. And like I say, it's on you to take your dream out on a date and don't be a deadbeat lover to your dreams, right? You gotta give your dreams some flowers. Take it out to dinner. And connect with people. And that's what we do. And we're gonna continue to connect.